Welcome to another episode of Risk. This is another 6-player progressive card game on classic Risk map. And I think for additional troop bonus I will go for South America in this game. Continents in progressive card games don't matter that much like in fixed cards, but they could still be a good bonus if you manage to get them in the beginning of the game. So that the white player wouldn't bring his troops into South America, I decided to put my army in Brazil. So hopefully it will discourage him from potentially going for it. When hosting this game I set master rank as a minimum rank, meaning that my opponents could be ranked anywhere from master to grandmaster. So they should be more or less decent and know what are they're doing. The blue, pink and green players win every third game they play. Blue has a winning percentage of 31%, pink of 32%, and green of 36%. And then the yellow player wins every fourth game having a winning percentage of 25%, and the white player wins every fifth game he plays having a winning percentage of 19%. I think I will wait for one more turn before capturing South America just to be on a safe side. I could get a bad blitz roll crushing the pink player's 3 troops, which could make my army weak, so I don't want to risk it. But then I think I will capture for sure, so unless the white player brings some more troops to the territory of North Africa, or like if the pink player adds more troops in South America. But alright, the white player has moved out. I'm not sure, but it pretty much seems he will want to go for Australia when there are a lot of other players' troops. But looking from one side it's maybe good, with him weakening them they will become easier targets to be taken out, so that should increase my chances of winning or finishing in a higher place. But in overall it would be the best for the white player to let keeping other players their troops in Australia, because it makes all of them to be more spread out. It would be quite hard for yellow and especially me to get to them. And if I were white, then I would have rather kept those troops somewhere in Africa rather than bringing them closer to Australia. By him gathering all of his troops to one place he will make himself as a very easy target to be taken out, and pretty much everyone will be able to take him out once they get enough troops. So he just still has that 1 troop territory in North Africa and 2 troops territory in Central America. While for example if someone wanted to take out green, it would be much harder for that person to achieve it. The green player has 3 different armies in 3 different places, and if you had one big army which would have a little bit more troops than green, then you might still not be able to take him out because you would need to go through other players' armies. And because of that, because of increased safety, I try to have some smaller armies in different spots of the map also. I still mostly add my troops in one big army in Brazil, but I'm trying to keep these smaller armies where they are for a reason. I'm not totally wasting these troops, so I would contain myself being spread as much as currently I am. I wish I had a few troops somewhere isolated in Asia as well, but unfortunately my Asian troops got wiped out in the beginning of the game, so nothing much I can do anymore. And then it seems the pink player is going for Africa. So I think I will have to say a goodbye for my bottom African troops too, but ideally I always like to have some troops in either Madagascar or South Africa when nobody is going for Africa. I would say that's a very good spot to have some troops in. I was building a big army on the territory of Brazil and I was hoping that it will discourage the pink player from going for Africa, but he seemed to not be scared of it, so he brought some more troops in the territory of North Africa. And on one hand it was bad because it blocked my army's accessibility to go to multiple different directions before breaking through the pink player's army firstly, but on the other hand it was good because the pink player's ARMT shields me from Africa, so if anybody wants to take me out going through that side, then that person will need to break through the pink player's troops firstly. So I think the most ideal option for me was to bring the majority of my troops to the other border. So unless if I were confident that the pink player would be the first player I would take out. And on one hand yes, he only has his troops in Africa, which made him be a very easy target for me, but then I had no idea whether he trades in a set at 3 cards or so I wanted my army to be rather accessible to be able to potentially go for more than one player. I knew that if keep building a big army in the territory of Brazil, then the pink player would add a lot of troops next to my border as well, so then I wouldn't be really suitable to go for any other player than him, or might not even for him in case he trades in a set at 3 cards. So now just the issue is that both the green and blue players have their armies in top North American borders which block me the access to get out from North America. So because of that they're currently the only 2 options for me to go for when the right time comes. But still I have 2 potential options to go for instead of 1 in case if I had kept my biggest army in the territory of Brazil. So I'm still very happy about that. Though I'm still not sure whether it will be even worth for me to take someone out for the cards. I'm the first player who trades in sets first getting the lowest value of troops, so that is a con of going first, but to compensate that there is a pro of going first. You trade in sets first meaning that you're the most unluckable player to get eliminated first, well at least when it comes to the first 2 rounds of sets. Then after trading in 2 first sets, if you didn't take anyone out, then you could potentially get taken out by the players who got the biggest troops values once you get off having 3 or 4 cards. But those players who go last and get the biggest troops values are the most likable to be eliminated in the second round of sets, when the set values start being over 20 troops. So, if you 5th or 6th player in the turns order, then you very likely could get eliminated then if you do not have a set at 3 cards, or if not, then assuming you play with decent players who know that progressive cards are all about taking opponents out when it's worth for the cards, then you have to be very well spread out enough that nobody would be able to reach a certain army of your troops. And, in the current position of the board I would say that nobody is spread out well enough. Everybody including me could be taken out one by one lucky player if he gets a lucky opportunity. And because of it I will say players should really prioritize spreading out rather than going for continents which only give 2 or 3 troops per turn. So anyway, what I see is that the set value reached 30 troops while the blue player has 35 troops and 4 cards. So because of that I'm taking him out from the game at the same time expecting to get some good blitz rolls so it would give me even a better value. And then I'm hoping to take out some more players if possible as well. Now I could either go for yellow or white. And if I go for the white player first, then after taking him out in order to take out yellow as well it would need for me to put my troops into 2 different armies for the 2 armies of the yellow player's troops, and it wouldn't be very efficient, so because of that I decided to take out the yellow player firstly over white. And now after taking out yellow, it's more suitable for me to go for white over the pink player. This is because after blitzing the white player's army I can split some troops which are unnecessary for the 1-troop territories to capture in Australia, leaving them in the territory of India so I will have more accessible troops and bigger chances to successfully take the pink player out. While if I had gone for the pink player firstly, then I wouldn't have been able to split some troops behind for the white player without highly risking it. And now let's check out what were the ranks of my opponents. And alright, all of my opponents were masters.